Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas GK. There's no relief for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal as yet. The Delhi High Court has reserved its order on the Enforcement Directorate plea, seeking a stay on the trial court's order granting bail to Arvind Kejriwal. The High Court will pronounce its order in 2 or 3 days and has put the trial court's bail order on hold until then. The High Court judge, while reserving the order, has said that he wants time to go through the entire material.
कोर्ट ने आज जो है केजरीवाल का बेल ऑर्डर स्टे कर दिया है। हमारी स्टे एप्लीकेशन जो है उसके ऊपर ऑर्डर किया है और फाइनल ऑर्डर 2-4 दिन में आएगा और मेन बेल कैंसिलेशन की जो एप्लीकेशन है उसकी सुनवाई बाद में होगी। उसमें नोटिस इशू हुआ है।
Earlier, there were intense arguments in the court where the ED vehemently argued that the trial court order was perverse as it did not give ED adequate time to oppose the bail. The ED contended that there is direct evidence of the proceeds of crime linked to Kejriwal, unlike what the trial court claims in its order. The ED has also informed the Delhi High Court that repeated assertions by Kejriwal that approvers were forced to change their statement by putting pressure on them was false. The ED has stated that Raghav Bakunta and Sharath Reddy have never been put on any question regarding the role of Kejriwal, and therefore their initial responses cannot be presumed to be in favor of Kejriwal. The AAP Council, meanwhile, insisted that there was no need to keep Kejriwal behind bars and has also said that the Delhi Chief Minister was not a terrorist and the ED must not solely focus on stalling implementation of a bail order. A political war of words broke out after the High Court reserved its order today. While yesterday the Aam Aadmi Party hailed the trial court order as a victory of the truth, today it claimed that dictatorship was on the rise.
मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की एक लोअर कोर्ट यानी कि राउज एवेन्यू कोर्ट से जमानत मिलना मुझे लगता है ना सिर्फ दिल्ली और आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए, पूरे देश के लिए एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगी। हमारी पूरी न्याय व्यवस्था के अंदर ये फैसला एक बहुत बड़ी मिसाल बनेगा।
अभी सुबह ऑर्डर अपलोड होना था, ऑर्डर अपलोड नहीं हुआ और ईडी हाई कोर्ट पहुंच गई ऑर्डर को स्टे करवाने के लिए। इतना ये तो ऐसे हो गया अरविंद केजरीवाल इज द मोस्ट वांटेड टेररिस्ट ऑफ इंडिया। देश में तानाशाही इतनी हद पार कर रही है कि ईडी किसी को लिबर्टी भी नहीं देने के, मुख्यमंत्री के अगेंस्ट वो स्टे के लिए चली जाती है।
And the BJP questioned the change in stance of Aam Aadmi Party and also asserted that even if Kejriwal is granted bail, it wouldn't mean a clean sheet as the charges still remain.
As far as the Honourable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji is concerned, he's definitely lost in the court of the people's opinion. The recent Lok Sabha elections show that the Delhi has unequivocally chosen Bharatiya Janata Party across all 7 Lok Sabha seats. And if you remember, the campaign of the Honourable Chief Minister was jail ka jawab aapki vote se. Clearly, the people of Delhi have voted in favour of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and this shows that any charade of his, the Delhi people have not fallen for it.
भाई लोग हैं वो जेल में हैं, वो तो न्यायपालिका ने दिया है, तो न्यायपालिका को तो गाली देते हैं ये लोग। हम न्यायपालिका का सम्मान करते हैं।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP. Sujata Pandey, political analyst, is joining us. With us also is Ratan Sharda, author. With us on the other side, of course, is Dr. Akashdeep Puni, political analyst, Sanjeev Kaushik, political analyst, and advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst. But I want to go first and foremost to Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava, just yesterday, we saw the Aam Aadmi Party saying that this is the strength of our judiciary, that everything is okay with democracy, and now it is a completely opposite statement within 24 hours that the Aam Aadmi Party appears to be making. At the end of the day, there are judicial processes, and while, of course, the High Court upholding the trial court order is not completely ruled out, there are certain questions and concerns that the investigative agency has, in fact, placed before the High Court, and in its wisdom, it will consider that. So why are the Aam Aadmi Party leaders jumping the gun is a question that the BJP is asking.
They have a right to ask any question, but the fact is that yesterday's order from the trial court has demolished the ED's case completely. and not only demolished, it's just fallen like a pack of cards. Because the kind of order it has been issued, if you see that, it's a shame on the investigative agency if the honorable judge has to write that they were doing the investigation as an art. It's an artistry to give a lollipop and extract a statement from an approver. I fail to understand that by what standard today it is called that Aam Aadmi Party is criticizing. Nobody is criticizing. It's a fact. On the contrary, who is criticizing? It's the ED. The BJP agency is criticizing. They are saying that the judgment is perverse. Aam Aadmi Party, nobody is criticizing anything. We are waiting, no problem. Judge has only, bail is not cancelled. The bail is only put on stay. So stay can be uplifted when the matter has been heard already. The Honorable Judge has said next 2 or 3 days they will be pronouncing the judgment on this. The fact is that Honorable Chief Justice is on record to say that the matter should be heard at the trial stage and the trial judges must take the action, give the bail. That is what Honorable Judge Bindu has mentioned, that we have been told to take a decision and we have taken it and they have considered everything.
Okay, let me bring in RP Singh on that. RP Singh, it is not anyone else but the ED that is in fact raising questions of the trial court, and the fact is that the trial court, he says, Ravi Srivastava says, the trial court has demolished the case as far as ED is concerned with its comments on artistry, etc., which raise some serious questions about the nature of the probe.
Well, Madhav, I'll appreciate my friend will just be patient and hear me out as I stayed quiet and then heard him what he had to say. Now, court also said that the bigger portion of the total amount which is being mentioned has still to be, evidence has to be brought along. But they are accepting, yes, 40 crore evidence has been presented. The same court. I mean, please go through the court order. It says same thing. That the one part of the amount is acceptable, but the rest you have to still bring the evidence on that there was some sort of scam happening on that another 60 crore rupees, because the total scam has been mentioned over 100 crore rupees. One. Secondly, the ED went to higher court only for this reason, that proper hearing was not given to the ED in the lower court, and they have a right to go to the higher court, and higher court had higher court not accepted the point of view of ED, they would have thrown the hearing out of the court, saying that we don't want to go by what you are saying. Let the bail be on and let the person be given, Mr. Kejriwal be given the bail. But that didn't happen. Court gave a patient hearing today and has reserved the order. So let's wait for the order. I mean, why be in haste? Because earlier also in the same case, the trial court, this was a vacation court. I don't understand. I should not put question mark, but I don't understand what was the haste for the vacation court to hear the bail plea in the routine matter.
Well, I would just say, sir, let's not raise questions on any court. The court has acted within its powers as far as we understand it. Let's wait for the High Court to come in, and the High Court can adjudicate if at all the court has exceeded its brief. But I want to bring in Dr. Akashdeep Muni on one point. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, today, the ED in a written submission has specifically stated that this entire narrative around approvers that the Aam Aadmi Party keeps talking about, that this narrative is not substantiated by the facts. Because they've put out the questioning and details of 2 of the approvers at least, and they say that Arvind Kejriwal was never even mentioned in the questioning as far as these approvers are concerned. So therefore, it is a false argument that is being put forward by Mr. Kejriwal and hence his legal team. Please respond to that specific question, Dr. Muni.
Yeah. Whatever you are saying, just opposite what Honorable Judge Nyaya Binduji said. And I quote the Honorable Judge. But before quoting the Honorable Judge, I want to quote also ASG Raju. That approvers are made by giving benefits, made by giving inducements. I'm quoting the Honorable ASG. It means that लालच देके approvers को लाया गया. ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I am not saying this. This has been quote unquote said in the court by Honorable S.G. Raju. There are 2-3 statements that the Honorable Judge said in this case. First of all, ED's investigation is biased. That's what Judge Nyaya Binduji said. She also said that ED fails to trace complete money trail after hearing both the sides. She said that ED fails to give any evidence. There is no proof of proceeds of crime. And also, she says that this total case has been artistically drawn. This brings to my point 2-3 points, that why Arvind Kejriwal in this particular case has been made to be a scapegoat when there is no evidence. You cannot find 100 crore. You accuse him of 100 crore. You cannot find a trace of 60 crore. I am not saying the enforcement director said that we don't have the trace of 60 crore in the honorable court. When you don't have the trace, why you have put him behind bars? Why you have not allowing a bail to be heard? And today, I want to tell one another thing, that the Honorable High Court said that I am reserving the order of that for 2-3 days. So Honorable High Court has not stayed the order which has been granted by trial court. So till now, the trial court orders remain
No,
there.
you're factually wrong there. I'm sorry. I am sorry. You're factually wrong. The court has specifically said that it will pass order on the ED stay application in 2-3 days. Until then, the trial court order will remain stayed. So they will give a final order. The interim order is that it is stayed. So please don't misinform viewers, Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Do not misinform the viewers. The final judgment has not yet been given, but an interim judgment has been given. At the moment, the trial court has orders are stayed. Otherwise, you would have moved the trial court and got Mr. Kejriwal out on bail. That is not going to happen for the next 2-3 days. Let's not even dispute the facts. Let's not get into a factual dispute over here. Let me bring in fact, several of the other panelists. I have Sujata Pandey's hand going up. Sujata Pandey, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party is certainly going to use the orders of the trial court because they say that it proves that there is some kind of bias with which the agency is acting on. They've talked about artistry, as I was referring to earlier from what Ravi Srivastava said. And they are saying that the trial court order shows how, there has been as far as the agency is concerned at least, an unfair investigation against Arvind Kejriwal. Please respond to that.
Okay, Madhav, few points, and I'll be categorically first just responding to what Akash Muni said, that no trace has been found. Well, let me see about additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju said in today that ED is not investigation in the air but possess concrete evidences. He said photos of currency, please understand, photos of currency notes produced in the courts were part of the money given as kickbacks and related to Kejriwal's stay in a 7-star hotel in Goa. These photos were found on Vinod Chauhan's phone, who was basically a middleman, a hawala, who was managing all the hawala transactions amounting to 45 crores. He was very good in terms with the AAP's fund manager, Chanpreet Singh. This has been given by ED. All the money trail end to end has been produced by ED in the court, and that is why trial court, even by giving bail, has not acquitted Kejriwal. Secondly, even when Supreme Court gave the bail to Kejriwal, or as an exception, it mentioned clearly that it is not denying the legalities of the case. It also did not absolve them. It also, the Kejriwal was not even allowed to function as a CM. He was not allowed to go to his office. He was only allowed to campaign. So first of all, let's just get out of this myth that one day when the Supreme Court grants the bail, you say Loktantra zinda hai or judiciary mahan hai, satya parajit ho sakta hai, pareshan nahi ho sakta, etc. And the same judiciary, when it holds your bail, you say, oh, this is an agency which is acting on the behest of the BJP. So are you saying that the judiciary also is acting on the behest of BJP? That you have to be very. You can't take this even odd stand basis on your mood swings. This you can't. I mean,
you said yourself just now, Dr. Akashdeep Muni, there's no money trail. Charanpreet's point has been repeatedly raised by the ED. They said this is the proof of the money trail. Please respond to that specific point.
Thank you for the question. In this particular case of alleged excise scam, whatever the ASG said are allegations. They are not proved in a court of law. But what the court said, I'll be just quoting 2 lines and then I'm done. Justice Khanna of the Honorable Supreme Court, not of the High Court or Trial Court. Justice Khanna of Honorable Supreme Court says, I'm quoting the Honorable Court, nothing has been recovered. There is no trace.
Supreme Court, Justice
I rest my
Chandrachud
case.
Singh, while giving the bail, said that this case of giving bail to Kejriwal is an exception. Akash, please read the judgment clearly. You know, AAP has mastered this act of fakery. They just come for the media bites.
No,
You know,
yeah,
they come with
are you questioning Justice Khanna when he says that there is no
questioning
trace?
AAP's intent
Are you
of
questioning
spreading
Honorable
fake
Justice
news.
Khanna when he
No,
says
she's
that?
not doing that. She's reading out the entire portion of the
Now-
judgment,
now
which she is
you
entitled to
never
do.
asked that
Let's not raise false bogeys where there are none. But let me bring in Kapil Madan on this.
You have nothing
Yeah,
to defend on.
yeah. Kapil Madan, one specific question that has been raised, point of contention by the ED, is that how can you pass an order without going through the entire facts of the case? Because the ED today has contended and argued before the Delhi High Court that the judge himself has said, or herself has said, that as far as this particular case is concerned, the documents are very voluminous and therefore it has not been gone through. So is this not a valid concern that has been raised by the ED?
No. Let me point out, Madhav. Even if you need to draw a presumption against the accused that he should be presumed that he has committed the offense, you should set out the basic set of facts, and there should be some concrete prima facie evidence to show, yes, that the accused has prima facie committed the offense. If you see para 31 and para 32 of the judgment, the logic and the facts that were used by ED while opposing the bail application, the court has dealt with it, and the court have said that these are not sufficient enough to draw any kind of influence against the accused, and that's the reason why he was granted bail. The court has also taken note of the fact that there was a person who subsequently turned approval, and after fourth and fifth statement, he has named Arvind Kejriwal. And most surprisingly, when I was reading and going through this trial court's order, the argument made by the learned Solicitor General was that sometimes they give lollipop to the people to get the facts or the evidence out. If this is the lollipop that they are giving, then I think the truth of pudding is in the eating. I mean, the entire case of the defense is that the approver has acted at the behest of the incumbent government, and thereafter belatedly this statement was given, and there is no corroboration to that effect. You cannot today convict someone basis the statement given by an approver. It is a settled law. You need corroborative evidence to show, credible corroborative evidence to show that the accused has played some part in the...
All right, losing audio there, Kapil. Let me quickly begin Ratan Chadha to respond to that. There was some kind of lollipop being given. Does this show that the entire agency that is probing this matter has in some way tried to, influence those who are now material witnesses in this case, if I've understood Kapil Madan's argument correctly? Would you like to respond to that, Ratan Chadha?
Well, I am neither a police officer nor I am a lawyer, but tell me, how does a accused become a approver? Suddenly does the conscience wake up and he says, oh, बहुत गलती हो गई, माई बाप गलती हो गई, मैंने पाप कर दिया, पाप धोने के लिए वाल्मीकि की तरह मैं रत्नाकर की जगह वाल्मीकि बनना चाहता हूँ, so I will confess what is happening. There is always a game. Police and investigation agencies always play a game to get an approval. What is so great about it? Did it never happen in the 75 years of Indian history? It always happens. So don't teach me morality. Secondly, when people quote trial court, they forget that trial court just said, I didn't have time to read 1,000 pages. So how do you quote her when she hasn't even read the case? When ED goes to court in a hurry, you say, what is the hurry? If they are not gone and the Kejriwal had got bail, you would have said, देखो कुछ नहीं कर पाए, case ही झूठा था. This, song and dance about getting a bail or not getting a bail. Yesterday also said that bail is not acquittal. So when these people make this vulgar display on the roads, when somebody gets a bail, same Supreme Court they're crying about and quoting, Supreme Court, why didn't give a proper bail? Why did say a bail only for the election, after that you go back to jail and go back to trial court and high court? Because they realize that the case requires much more deeper investigation. And coming to the question of this entire story, if they are so clean, why is Manish Sisodia in jail for such a long time? Why this chief minister never signed a paper? Why did Manish Sisodia got all the rap on the knuckle? Why he was never given a bail? So his cleverness of not signing a paper and trying to show there is no trace and that's why he should be acquitted. I think that is playing too much of a politics and thinking the other are foolish. So, and using these words like it should be a shame, that should be a shame. One trial court, one high court, one Supreme Court. When it suits you, judiciary बहुत बढ़िया है, judiciary जिंदा है. Suit नहीं करती, judiciary biased है. BJP is influencing the judges. Please spare judiciary from your politics. That is all I want to say.
Right.
If after 3 days he will get a bail. Then what happens?
Can I just quickly?
Yeah. I want Sanjeev Kaushik to come in, क्योंकि संजीव कौशिक कल ढोल नगाड़े निकल गए थे, तरह तरह की आतिशबाजी सेलिब्रेशंस हो रही थी, मिठाइयाँ बट रही थी, और ये कहा गया था कि बीजेपी के मुंह पे काला धब्बा है, काला पेंट है, व्हाट हैव यू. देयर सेवरल स्टेटमेंट्स दैट हैव कम इन. बट आज ऑर्डर आते ही एकदम पलट गई आम आदमी पार्टी. तो क्या आम आदमी पार्टी के अनुकूल चलना चाहिए पूरा जुडिशियल सिस्टम? ये सवाल उठा रही है बीजेपी.
नहीं, बीजेपी और ईडी को पसंद नहीं आई तो उन्होंने आज पलट दिया इस चीज़ को. दो बातें हैं माधव, इस चीज़ को ध्यान देने की ज़रूरत है. इसके दो पहलू हैं. एक पहलू तो ये है कि इसके राजनीतिक मायने क्या है, और दूसरा पहलू कानूनी मायने क्या है. कानूनी मायने की बात करते हैं, राजनीतिक पहलू छोड़ देते हैं. हम सीधे लहजे में बात कर रहे हैं कि जिस तरह से कोर्ट ने, निचली अदालत जिस तरह से फैसला सुनाया, हम भी जानते हैं और आप भी जानते हैं कि PMLA एक्ट में यदि कोई भी न्यायाधीश यदि किसी भी इस तरह के आरोपी को यदि जमानत देता है तो जाहिर सी बात है कि कई उसके कारण होते हैं. कई पैरा उसमें होते हैं कि कोई मनी ट्रेल नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है, कहीं कोई पैसे की बरामदगी नहीं हुई है, कहीं कोई आपके यहाँ से इस तरह से लेन देन नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है. उसके आधार पर वो कहती है कि नहीं, आपको हम अभी तत्काल में जमानत दे रहे हैं. दो चीज़ें हैं जो मैं बार बार कह रहा हूँ कि यदि जमानत देने के बाद एक व्यक्ति विशेष की बात करें तो यदि हमारी जमानत खारिज हो जाए तो ये बात तो मुझे समझ में आ रही है कि मेरी जमानत खारिज हो गई, हम तुरंत चले जाएंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चले जाएंगे, हाई कोर्ट के बदले मतलब, या फिर निचली अदालत से हाई कोर्ट चले जाएंगे, ऊपर से ऊपर चले जाएंगे. ईडी को इतनी बेचैनी क्यों थी? ईडी को इतनी हलचल क्यों थी?
काम है.
ईडी ये बात कहने के बावजूद 48 घंटे का 24 घंटे का हमें समय दीजिए, और जिस तरह से बेचैनी, और ईडी ने
ये आर्गुमेंट आज दी है, ये दलील दी है कि एएसजी को ये रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया गया था कि केवल उन पॉइंट्स पे आर्ग्यू करे जो बेल एप्लीकेंट के द्वारा किए गए हैं, जो कि अरविंद केजरीवाल है. ये उनकी दलील है कोर्ट में आज.
जो भाषा का इस्तेमाल, जिस भाषा का इस्तेमाल ईडी ने किया, ईडी के वकील ने किया, वो भाषा आपने देखा, ये एक विकृत निर्णय है या डिसीजन है. जिस तरह से ईडी ने इस पूरे मसले को एक तरह से कोर्ट के इमेज के साथ, कोर्ट के प्रतिष्ठा के साथ खिलवाड़ करते हुए ईडी ने अपनी बात रखी है. मतलब ये कि प्रश्न चिन्ह ईडी ने निचली अदालत के ऊपर उठाया. हमें बोलने का मौका नहीं दिया गया, हमारी आर्गूमेंट नहीं सुनी गई, हमने रिटर्न में देना चाहा वो नहीं दी गई. ऐसा होता है क्या? ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होता. जाना था जाए, हमें इससे कोई एतराज़ नहीं है. लेकिन जिस तरह से ईडी ने, अभी आपने जो शुरुआती दौर में सवाल पूछा कि आखिर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग या फिर ईडी ये जब छुटने की बात हो रही थी तो ढोल नगाड़े ताशे बज रहे थे, इन लोगों ने उस ढोल नगाड़े और ताशे को बंद करा दिया. मैं सिर्फ
संजीव कौशिक जी,
भारतीय जनता पार्टी,
संजीव कौशिक जी, सिंपल सवाल ये है. ओके, लेट मी पुट दैट क्वेश्चन ऑफ संजीव कौशिक, ऑल्दो ईडी इज एंटाइटल्ड टू इट्स ओन आर्गुमेंट्स, बट लेट मी पुट दैट क्वेश्चन सिंस इट्स अ डिबेटिंग पॉइंट. आरपी सिंह, today you had Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying that a different view is not a perversity. That the perversity is the word that Mr. Raju used, which I believe Sanjeev Kaushik is objecting to you. He says that a different view is not perversity. How do you respond to that?
Madhav, the issue yesterday was that ED wanted to put their point of view and they were not given sufficient time for putting their point of view, the evidence. Court said restrict to the point of the bail, but whereas the bail has to be granted on the evidence which ED had. And today, higher court heard the complete case. Had there been no merit in the case, then the court would not have heard the case. They would have turned it down there and then would have said, go back and then Mr. Kejriwal enjoy the bail. But that didn't happen because court could see the merit, and then that's why court gave a patient hearing. Today, ED has presented all the evidence, which are digital evidence, which are the evidence of the people who have given their evidence under Section 164, or otherwise also there are a lot of money trail also being identified and had been presented, and even lower court accepted that yes, there is some money trail, but not for the complete thing. Not for the 100 crore, but for 40 crore, ED could present the papers. And then if you want, I can read out the name of the people who received the money and the Kangri name of the Kangris who were the in between for the sending the money, and also the people who has sent the money. This all is there on record. So if I make a statement on 164, I'm liable to.
One second, I'm coming to you, Ravi Srivastava. One second, coming to you. Let me make his point.
And that is equally as evidence.
Okay, RP Singh saying there is clear evidence of the money trail, of who received the money, where it went from, and therefore this entire argument of Aam Aadmi Party that there is no money trail, that nothing has been proved, there is no proof, is wrong. It's factually wrong, is his argument. Respond to him, Ravi Srivastava.
Yes, the factually wrong. It's a flimsy evidence. I repeat, it's a flimsy evidence. You are taking somebody stayed in the hotel, somebody paid the bill, somebody took the money.
There is nobody called Charanpreet.
No, Hawala operator is the same.
There is no link to Charanpreet.
Hawala operator is a criminal. You said criminal. Hawala operator का statement ले रहे हैं. वो criminal है. तो उसका evidence की कोई value नहीं है. Currency note. अरे currency है numbered note है क्या?
अरे आपके सबसे value नहीं है.
अरे आपने बोला
value मानी है.
One by one. RP Singh. Let me come in now. RP Singh. It's an argument that has been made in many cases that can you really depend. One second. Ravi Srivastava, you made your point now. I'm going to ask this question to RP Singh. Can we really depend on a statement made by a person against whom there are charges? Of course, he refers to him as a criminal. Can that statement be taken as being a credible one?
Okay, let me give you one name. His name is Rajinder Solanki. He was an MLA contestant from Bardoloi in Gujarat. He was caught red-handed with 20 lakh rupees. And he said, this is not my money. This is a guy who's driving, who's my driver. He is the person who's going between the Delhi party and the local party. And there's a case already on. Please ask your research team to dig name Rajinder Singh Solanki and find whether he was caught with 20 lakh rupees cash red-handed or not. So
what are you talking, my friend? What are you talking?
Mr. Ravi Srivastava, start accepting the truth.
Displays the file of Chhagan Bhujbal. They said file kho gayi.
We are not discussing Chhagan Bhujbal case here. We are not discussing Chhagan Bhujbal case here.
Then we are not discussing.
Ravi Srivastava, we are discussing the specific case of Mr. Kejriwal.
Then we are not discussing the cow as well.
Why Mr. Sisodia don't get a bail? And I'm naming, आपको चुपता है ना सच? आपको सच चुपता है ना? मैं तो नाम लेकर कह रहा हूँ. आपको नाम दे रहा हूँ.
All right.
मुकदमा दर्ज है नहीं है उसके खिलाफ.
We'll have to wrap it up. We'll have to leave it there for the moment. RP Singh, Sujata Pandey, Ratan Sharda, Ravi Srivastava, Dr. Akashdeep Muni, Sanjeev Kaushik and Advocate Kapil Madan. Certainly, of course, a very contentious issue. What will happen in 3 days from now when the court does reconvene? Will Arvind Kejriwal get the bail? Will he not get the bail? What really will be the outcome of this will be very interesting to watch for. But we can say that given the fact that this is such a contentious case, it will be no surprises if this is once again appealed after the High Court in the Supreme Court as well. Thanks so much for joining us this evening on Debate Number 1.